My guests today are from Brunswick Senior Resources. They are Jim Fish, on the far side, Executive Director of Brunswick Senior Resources, and Audie Lowrimore, whom I will call Volunteer Extraordinaire. Gentlemen, welcome to our show.
Good morning.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Jim, let's start with you.
Sure.
Most of us know what Brunswick Senior Resources is about, but you tell us again, what is Brunswick Senior Resources and what do you do?
Sure. Brunswick Senior Resources is a nonprofit organization. It's a 501c3 charitable organization that is the lead provider of senior services for Brunswick County. And we have multiple programs that we administer on behalf of the county. Probably chief among that is our Meals on Wheels program. It's certainly the most recognizable. But we also manage and administer services through the senior centers. So we run the senior centers and also smaller locations called nutrition sites.
Okay. We want to talk about the new senior center here in Shallotte, but first, tell us where the other senior centers are located.
Sure. We have senior centers in Leland. We have one that is currently located in Shallotte, and we'll be getting a new one. We have one in Southport, and then we have nutrition sites that sort of dot other parts of the county that might be a little bit more rural. We have nutrition sites in Ash, Boiling Spring Lake, Oak Island, Calabash, and hopefully at some, we have one in Lockwood Folly, and at some point, hopefully Sunset Harbor.
Excellent. And what are the sources of support for Brunswick Senior Resources?
Sure. Brunswick Senior Resources, like a lot of nonprofit organizations, receives funding from several different buckets, if you will, or locations. We receive some county funding. We receive some federal funding for our meals program specifically. We write several grants, and we do take in-kind and charitable donations from the community.
Good. All right, let's talk about the new Shallotte Center.
Sure.
Tell us where it's located and a little more about it.
You know, this is something that's very exciting and it's very groundbreaking for this area and for this community. The new Shallotte Senior Center is actually going into what was the old Exquisite Glow lighting store on Highway 17. The name of the road is Express Drive, and it's 3620 Express Drive.
Okay.
But it is a very large structure. It's a two-story structure that has about 22,000 square feet, and the seniors are going to be able to go from an older building that was probably built in the 1940s of about 4,200 square feet into a building that's got nearly 22,000. So we're very excited about it.
And obviously you'll be able to add additional services.
Yes, that's the idea. Things that, that they didn't have before. Specifically, we'll have an exercise room. I know that the old center has a smaller computer room, and this one will have one as well, but it will have a room dedicated specifically for arts and crafts and other activities, an expanded dining area, and probably the biggest thing, and one of the things we're really excited about, is it's going to have a man cave. You know, one of the most difficult things to do is to get men to stay at the senior centers. They tend to come up and drop their wives off and take off, and we're going to have an area for them.
What will the man cave involve?
We're going to have pool tables in there, and we've already got a contingency at the old center that love to play pool, so we'll have that. We'll have some flat screen TVs in there to be able to enjoy their TV, and somebody talked to us about donating some pinball machines and some other things. So
that sounds great.
Yeah, so it's a place to hang out and enjoy themselves.
Audie, I want to turn to you for a moment.
Okay, Jim.
Before the show, you told me of the numerous volunteer endeavors that you've been involved in, but the one I want to touch on is the capital fundraising campaign for the Brunswick Senior Resources.
We have started a capital fundraising campaign, Jim, and it's called Dream Big. And it's my way, my life, and my time. It's a committee that we have gotten together where we're soliciting the different businesses in the Shallotte, Calabash, and surrounding areas to donate to the new senior center so that we may purchase equipment for the center, furnish the center basically is what we're doing. It starts at $1 and we have different levels up to $500. So far we have done over $7,000 in donations in just the last 2 months that we've been doing it. We also have Christmas trees that were donated by one of our seniors from the mountains. He donated 200 trees, and we have sold up to the last couple of days over 150 trees.
Great.
Which everything that we sell is profit going to the new fundraising.
And let's make a point that financial contributions are tax deductible.
Yes, they are. We give them a form. We have a form they can fill out, and they make their checks out to Brunswick County Senior Resources Incorporated, And on the for line on the bottom of the check, they put for Shallotte Senior Center.
Now, are there in-kind contributions that you gentlemen would be happy to receive?
Absolutely.
Tell us about those.
You know, when you have such a large building, there are, of course, many needs that we have. Some of those would be furniture. We also need individuals that can help out with different talents, especially if some individuals may have experience in painting or other things. We need cabinetry. We need art supplies. Those are probably the biggest things.
And for those that have an interest, is there an actual list of items that you would be happy to receive?
Absolutely. There's a packet that we have that outlines not only the different levels of giving, but it also illustrates and talks about some of the things that we need specifically. And so anybody can have one of those packets, and they can be picked up at the current Shallotte Senior Center, which is on Main Street in Shallotte.
How about the grand opening? Tell us about that.
We're really excited about that. We're hoping to hold the grand opening sometime in the late spring, early to late spring. And it's going to be in combination with our 10-year anniversary. Brunswick Senior Resources has now been in existence for a little over 10 years, and so we're really excited about having an opportunity to celebrate 10 years and open a new center and really create sort of a marquee event for the community.
It's a great moment. Audie, let's turn to you for a second.
Okay, Jim.
We talked about Meals on Wheels. Tell us a little bit more about the program.
I started out 7 years ago doing Meals on Wheels 2 days a week. I reckon I would be considered by Jim's standard as full-time now.
Thank you, thank you.
I do it 5 days a week. I deliver 10 to 12 meals a day, and you get to love the seniors. You laugh with them, you cry with them. And it's very touching when one of them passes away, that normally they always say, at the wake they say, my Meals on Wheels driver, my dad always looked forward to him because he would bring him fried chicken.
That's it. That's a touching comment, and I'm sure it's very true.
It is a non-paying job, but the rewards are more than money.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
And we always need volunteers, Jim.
Let's talk about that as well.
Sure.
Volunteers are critical to an organization such as yours.
Absolutely. With the way that, with the growth that we're experiencing in the senior community and the increased need to provide services, and of course, against the backdrop of limited resources, we really rely on our volunteers. And currently, Brunswick Senior Resources organization-wide has a little under 200 volunteers, but we're always needing more, especially for our Meals on Wheels program. If somebody delivers Meals on Wheels one time, they're hooked. It's really it's an outstanding way to give back to your community, to make the difference in somebody's life individually, and to do something for yourself.
These interviews go so quickly. We have so much more to talk about.
Sure.
Is there anything else that the community can do to assist you?
No, just please contact Brunswick Senior Resources if you're interested in volunteering, and we can certainly be able to utilize individuals' talents to be able to serve our community. There's several different areas that we need help with, in addition to Meals on Wheels, and we'd love to speak to people that want to do something for their community.
Brunswick Senior Resources, it's a great story. Audie Lowrimore, Jim
Thank you,
Fish,
Jim.
thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Jim. What a pleasure.
Thank you.